Well, I'm standing over another engine bay of one of the cars. It's a beautiful autumnal day, and this is the Volvo 850, the 1997 model that I recently did a video on where it passed its MOT. I thought I'd do a quick video of the various bits and pieces I've had to do with regard to the engine over the last few years to kind of get it up and running and resolve various faults. And show you what's been replaced, etc. It needed a new battery a few years ago, so I went with a Bosch S4 because it's just a reliable brand. I think it was last year where I posted a series of videos on this car where I had issues with a starting problem. It sometimes wouldn't quite catch, and it struggled to start when it was hot, sometimes struggled to start when it was cold. I did eventually diagnose that, but yeah, I'll show you what the issue was ultimately. But yeah, one interesting thing of this Volvo engine is if you think you have a fueling issue, which I thought I thought there was an issue with the fuel pump or the fuel relay or similar. This is the fuel rail just here. I think that's one of these is the fuel input, one's the return to the tank. Just go to the end here. I'll just zoom in. I don't know if this is going to come out, but in the bottom there's a little blue cap. That's actually a Schrader valve like you have on a tyre, and what you can do is you can remove this plastic and you can basically press that valve in and you get a squirt of fuel coming out if you've got fuel pressure. So it's a really nice little feature of this engine that Volvo decided to include. So yeah, the running issue, lots of things were replaced before I looked at it. You can see it's had a new ignition coil, it's had a new, is that an ignition amplifier just there? What else did it have? It had a new crank sensor. I believe that's that white connector at the bottom there. But yeah, it was still exhibiting that issue, and ultimately I found out it was actually this here. This silver thing. This is the crankshaft position sensor. So yeah, the old one had essentially broken, and I fitted a new one, and yeah, it started working. So it starts really well now. I don't have any issues with it. Other problems I had with it was the hinges. These had kind of got stiff with age, so I had to kind of lubricate them so the bonnet closed properly. The exhaust catalytic converter down there, I'll just zoom in, see that flexi hose there. The catalytic converter on this car actually got stolen because it was laid up for a while on the streets, and yeah, someone jacked it up overnight and stole it for scrap prices, I guess. So I had to replace that with an aftermarket one. It was only about £80 or so, but it fitted fine. Came with a flexi, passes the MOT okay, so no problems there. What else did I have to do? I removed the warm air inlet, which goes from that corrugated bit of hose there to that bit there. So there was a pipe joining those two together, a large pipe. I think it's something Volvo did where they, I don't know, they wanted warm air to come into the inlet of the engine for efficiency reasons, I guess. But I decided to just block it up and leave the cold air inlet open all the time, just like a regular car, for simplicity. So yeah, that cured the running issue. I replaced all the spark plugs with genuine Volvo ones. That was easy to do. I did flush the transmission fluid about 3 times. When I say flush, I used the vacuum pump to suck it out of here and replace it about 3 or 4 times. This was a preventative measure, really. So look at the colour. Is it going to focus? Yeah, there we go. So it's a nice red colour now. It was looking a bit brown, and it's always better to fix those things in advance, I feel. It's had an oil and filter change. It sounded a little bit tappety on the top end when it had not been started for 6 months or so, so I wasn't really sure what oil was in it, so I changed oil in the filter. I had to replace the expansion tank. You can see that's got a new one. It was leaking just under this pipe just here, very, very slightly, but yeah, I changed that again. I think that was £20 or something from eBay. So a nice, easy and cheap fix. I did try and get the air conditioning working. I think that's the recharge port just there. Rather weirdly, I think this Volvo only has a low side recharge port. I seem to remember, this was a year ago, it doesn't actually have a high side port. But yeah, so I had that recharged and it lasted for a couple of months over last summer, and then it stopped working, so I've not looked into that yet. There's probably a leaking condenser or similar. So yeah, that's where I'm up to with the Volvo. Everything else is working well, no issues really. I think the only thing that I don't like the look of is the radiator. I think it is weeping slightly. Yeah, you can see it here. See this plastic end tank. You can see it's kind of bulged a bit, and you can actually see some fluid there that's kind of collected. So yeah, the radiator needs replacing really, but it looks quite difficult to remove, so I've not done that yet. I will get around to that at some point. So yeah, the 2.5 litre naturally aspirated petrol Volvo 5-cylinder. I think this is an 10 valve version, 2 valves per cylinder. It's good, nice engine.